Welcome, and thank you for joining me this morning. I'm going to be showing you a few body movements that you can do this morning to kind of get yourself really into a groove that's going to be really productive for you today. Some consider this to be yoga, others consider this to be more of kinesthetic work. However, feel free to watch or join me. Just take a few moments to breathe in and out. Kind of rock your head back and forth, maybe even in a circle to get started. Now, once you've had enough on one side, go ahead and reverse that circle. Breathe in and breathe out. Continue to massage all the cricks out of your neck, any pops that you might need to make. Now take your right hand and just kind of apply a little pressure. Now do the same thing on the left side. Bring your hands to your heart space. Bow and kind of make a bow in your back as to stretch the muscles. Go ahead and place your prayer hands behind you and extend them to the sky to get that side body stretch on both sides. And then wave it down. Go ahead and repeat this action. Prayer hands to heart space. Then lift them behind your head. Kind of press down on the back of the nape of your neck a little to get a little stretch. And then extend your prayer hands to the sky. Now wave them down. Now take a deep breath in and let it all out. Now take your right hand and extend it to the sky. Get a little stretch in your side. Extend your left hand to the sky and put it down. Place your right hand on the mat with your elbow to follow. Just kind of leaning over to the right to get a little stretch. Now take your left hand and extend it out over your head to continuously get that stretch in the left side of your body. Now swoop it around in the front. To come up on the other side to get that same stretch. Now, moving to the left side. Put your hand down and your elbow to follow. Extend your right arm out over your head to get that side body stretch. Swirl around, just as you did on the other side, and bring it up. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Now place your right hand on your left knee and turn a bit just to get a little stretch in your hip sockets. Now move to your right side, placing your left hand on your right knee. Once you've finished stretching, go ahead and do any body movements that just feel really good to you right now. Next, we're going to get into a tabletop position. Now you want to make sure that your hands are right under your shoulders and your knees are right under your hips. And we're going to go ahead and move into a cat-cow sequence. Make sure that you are bowing your back for the cat and arching your back for the cow movement. Don't forget to breathe in and to breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now plant your toes and your hands firmly into the mat and lift your knees to hover. We're going to stay there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Move back into child's pose to kind of take some of the stress off your wrist. Feel free to bump your hips to the left and the right to kind of get another stretch. And back into cat-cow pose. Make sure as you're doing your cat-cow pose that you're breathing in and out. Plant your toes and move into downward facing dog. Make sure you're stretching your calf muscles in this position. Feel free to stretch your ankles and your toes. Just kind of play around with this a little bit. Stretch out those muscles that need so much attention right now. As you're doing your downward dog pose, start to walk your feet closer to your hands. Continuously stretching. Now we're going to move into forward fold. Just kind of hang there for a moment and let the blood rush to meet your head. Put your hands together, link your hands together just like that. Make sure that your thumbs are pressed together. You're going to take your forearms and place them underneath your jawbone, and you're going to put your hands at the nape of your neck. Make sure that you keep your hands interlocked. Now press your elbows towards the ground, forward, so that it extends. Throughout the course of the day, your neck muscles are kind of constricted and condensed. So this motion will help you to extend your neck to relieve any pain that you may be experiencing. Go ahead and go into a flat back and down like a wave motion. Up into your flat back and down like a wave. Up into your flat back and hold it. Back to forward fold. Now come out of this position, bringing your hands up over your head and inhaling at the same time. Now exhale and bring your hands to your heart space. Back down to forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands to the top. Now exhale and back down into forward fold. Plant your hands on the floor and step your right foot back and then your left foot back into plank. With a firm, steady frame, lower yourself to the ground and come into a cobra pose. Be sure that you're pressing your legs into your mat and your shoulders are away from your head. Now roll it up and transition right into downward dog. And now back into plank. Lower yourself to the ground as slow as possible, making sure that you're working those arm muscles and into cobra. Release, and in cobra again, and release, and cobra one more time, and release. Now plant your toes and your hands and back into plank pose. Plant your left knee and your right knee on the mat and come into tabletop position. Now put your toes together and extend your knees to the side of your mat as far as you can. Plant your left hand in the center of your mat and take your right hand and extend it to the sky. Now take your hand and bring it underneath your left arm and put your right shoulder on your pad to give yourself a little stretch in the back. Now do the same thing on the other side. Place your right hand on your pad and bring your left hand to the sky. Now take your left hand and bring it through underneath your right arm and put your left shoulder on your pad to stretch the back muscles. Now come out of this and bump your hips to the left and to the right. Kind of stretch those thigh muscles and those hip joints. Now bring your knees back together and back into plank. Rock back and forth in your plank and then bring it to downward facing dog. Plant your left foot and extend your right foot to the sky. Now bring it in towards your chest and back out towards the sky. Again, bring your knee towards your chest. Now put your foot back out towards the sky. One more time. Bring your knee in and plant your foot in between your hands. Lower your left knee to the ground and stretch in a lunge. Bring your hands to the sky, balancing your weight in between both legs. Now raise your knee and come into a high lunge. Raise your arms up once more. Make sure that your knee is right over your ankle and that your right hip is pulled back to make this position as sturdy as possible. Now plant both hands on the floor and pull your foot back into plank pose. Lower yourself as slow as you can to the floor without dropping and into cobra pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Now back into plank pose. You got it. Don't give up now. Now walk your feet close to your hands and lift your left leg to the sky. Knee to chest, leg to sky. Just like on the other side. One more time. Now bring your knee into your chest and plank your left foot in between your hands. Bring your right knee down to the floor and stretch in low lunge. Pull your hands up to the sky. Now plant both hands on the ground and raise your knee to go into a high lunge. Pull your hands up to touch the sky. Make sure that your knee is over the top of your ankle and that you can still see the front of your toes. Now plant both hands on the ground. Pull your left foot back into plank. Rock back and forth in plank and then lower yourself to the ground. Up into cobra. And down. Now join me in downward facing dog. Stretch out those legs. Plant your left leg, extend your right leg to the sky, and pull your knee into your chest. Go into high lunge. Pull your hands up to the sky. Breathe in and breathe out. Now pivot to the left, coming into what yogis call Warrior Two pose. Now straighten your legs and reach your right arm up to the sky, coming into an altar triangle pose. Go ahead and stretch on the right side and then seesaw over and raise your left hand to the sky, stretching the left side. Now back to center. Plant both hands on the floor, bringing your right foot back and into plank pose. Lower yourself to the ground without falling and into cobra pose. Plant both hands on the ground. Come through plank pose into downward facing dog. Now plant both hands and put your left foot in between both of your hands, coming into a high lunge. Be sure to check that your ankle is right below your knee. Pivot to the right, Warrior Two. Make sure that your glutes are working, that you're holding your glutes together to keep you in this position strong. Now, straighten your legs into triangle pose and raise your left hand to the sky, stretching all the way to the side. Now, seesaw to the other side, raising your right hand to the sky and stretching. Straighten both legs back to the top. Back to center. Warrior Two. Now plant both hands on the ground. Pull your left foot back into plank position. And let's do a little bit of core work. Bring your right knee to the center of your chest, then your left knee to the center of your chest, and back to the right again. You'll do this in a motion of a mountain climber. Do 5 on each side. When you're finished, go to plank and into your cobra. Now back to child's pose for much needed rest. Take this time to massage your neck. Give yourself a little bit of love. This workout was very loving, but it was very effective. So you might even have a little glisten. Now come to a seated position and pull your knees to your chest. Plant your right hand behind you and place your left arm over your left knee and give a little twist to the right side. Now plant your left hand behind you and turn and twist to the left side, putting your right arm over your left knee. Now lower yourself back and pick your knees up to your chest. Put your hands on your knees and apply a little pressure down towards the ground. Now kind of rock your lower back on your mat back and forth. Me, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this. Leg over my head position. That feels good. We are at the end of our session, so once you've done doing whatever it is you feel like you need to do, come back to your seated position and cross your legs. Whatever you feel like you need to do that maybe have left undone, go ahead and do that. Any movements that feel good for you. Close your eyes and just take a deep breath in and out. Pull your hands to your heart space and take a bow. Good work. I'll see you next time.